morning, everybody. Jan of Jan Hicks Creates here. Welcome back to my weekly Flosstube video. Welcome if you are new. I hope you enjoy what you see here. It is a channel about mostly cross stitch, as well as some knitting, and as well as whatever else happens to catch my eye at any given time. There's always something crafty going on here. Maybe that needs to be a tagline, a new tagline. There's always something crafty going on here. Anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. It is Tuesday, December 17th. 78 degrees and sunny here in the middle of Oahu. December 17th, that means 3 days until the opening of the last movie in the Star Wars saga. Now, there might be some of you out there, I'm sure there are some of you out there, hard to believe, that aren't into Star Wars, but Mike and I definitely are, and it is an end of an era, and I'm gonna get all choked up because, you know, I just have to hear those opening notes of the Star Wars song, and lights go off, and, you know, fireworks, and I grew up as a Star Wars girl, what can I say? So yeah, we won't go see it on opening day. We don't do that. We're not into the madness kind of side of it, but I'm thinking Christmas Eve or Christmas. That might be our Christmas Day movie. I did try to make reservations for dinner on Christmas at a restaurant down in Waikiki, and of course they were already booked up, so we'll figure out something. But yeah, almost that day. Hard to believe the year is almost over, because it really just started like a couple months ago, and here we are in the middle of December. Just amazing. So what else has been going on? Let's see. The videos you saw at the beginning, the photos and the videos, on Saturday, Mike and I went down to the, I have to read the name of it because I can never get the words in the right order, the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific. That is in Punch Bowl, which is one of the craters, one of the old calderas here on the island. And it is a memorial cemetery for all of the wars that happened in the Pacific. So all of the different battles in World War II, as well as Korea, Vietnam, you know, that whole realm. And they have a wonderful kind of mapping out of the different wars in World War II. Again, if you're not into that kind of thing, you're probably like, big deal. But Mike and I love history, war history, World War II. Yeah, we just like that. We're very interested in everything that surrounds that whole era. The memorial part of it is there are markers for missing in action. So it's also, I mean, some remains of some of the soldiers have been found, but it's mostly to remember those who died for their country and who weren't found. So it is a very special place, and so that's the photos you saw. It was a very rainy day, but yeah, a good place to be on that day. And then we went up to the North Shore for kind of a picnic dinner and just hanging out. So you saw, I have some more videos of waves. Not any surfers. This area that we go to doesn't usually have surfers. We have to go further down the North Shore. But we'll get there. I promise we will get there before we leave. So yeah, it was a very nice weekend, laid back, but still got out and did things, which we hadn't really done the past couple weekends because of different things that were going on. So, Mike is all obsessed with his new Ninja Foodie. You know, he's an Instant Pot guy. Well, he's had his eye on a Ninja Foodie, so that is his Christmas present, and he could not wait to open it and start playing with it. And let me tell you, it's pretty darn cool. The Foodie is, again, a Ninja product that is both a pressure cooker and an air fryer. So far he has made potato wedges, you know, kind of French fries, only wedges. And last night he did a cauliflower. It was called a Sicilian cauliflower, where you just take the head. You don't even have to cut it apart. Put the head in the pot and cook it in the pressure cooker for 3 minutes, and then put some kind of coating on it that included Parmesan cheese, and cook it in the air fryer, crisp it up, and then you just chop it apart and eat it. And it was amazing. So I'm excited about the Ninja Foodie too. But yeah, so that's his Christmas present. Oh well. On a cross stitch related note, I do have a request from Patty in Pennsylvania. When she saw me going through my my stash the other day in the other video, and I got to a bunch of freebie patterns, she got excited because she has been looking for a particular pattern that she saw in the store in Las Vegas years ago, and she hasn't been able to find it. So she was hoping maybe I would have it in my stash. I did not. But I told her that I would reach out to you guys and see if any of you have it, and if you would be willing to share it with Patty. So it is Apples at Yuletide by 13th Colony, designed by David McGukin. It was a holiday chart for 1997 that was designed for a Christmas giveaway to his customers. It's a topiary tree of red apples in an urn with a lattice frame, and it says Noel on the bottom. So if that sounds familiar to any of you, if any of you have that in your stash, and like I said, you'd be willing to share, Patty, and I will get you and Patty hooked up, and you can work out the details. She apparently got a copy at some point, but it was a copy of many copies, and so the symbols just weren't clear enough to read. So yeah, if you could help out a fellow stitcher, I am here to work as your go-between. So let's see if we can make Patty happy on this Christmas. Right, that's about all the news. Not really a whole lot else going on around here except crafty stuff. Yay. So I have an FFO, and I am so thrilled with this. I finished stitching this before Christmas last year. But that was about the time we were moving out here and getting, still in temporary quarters, so I didn't have a chance to get anything to finish it. So finally got to that this year. This is called Winter Wonderland. It is a design by Kaniki's Whims and Prims, Nicole Franklin. The fabric is also hers. It is a printed fabric, so the trees are printed on it, and then you stitch over it. It's a 32 count, I believe. And I believe she is still carrying this. So the design is stitched on top of the printed trees, and it all kind of blends together. And then this is one of the frame, if you will. It's more of a tray type of thing. I got at Joann's. This is one of the things that I got at Joann's in Phoenix when I was back there visiting my in-laws, and one of the things they sent to me. And so then I got the picks and stuff here at the Ben Franklin, and the glitter around it, the tinsel streamer type of thing. I got that here. And this pick, I just cut a bunch of picks. That pick was a bigger one. This was a bigger one with pine cones and greenery. I put the pine cones up here next to this pretty glittery white poinsettia. I love how this turned out. Now, one thing that I did not do, so it is meant to be hung this way with this stripe going up and down. And the hangers on the back are on this side. I did not take those off beforehand because I was so anxious to get working on this. And you can see they're little tiny Phillip head screwdrivers or screws. So I asked Mike if he had something like that I could take those off, and he said, I think I do. I'm not sure whether it's here or in the RV. So if it's here, I will be able to take those off and hang it up, reposition them and hang it up where I want to. If not, it will have to wait till we move to San Antonio. but that's okay. I have it leaning against a wall down on our cabinet downstairs, so I can at least enjoy it. So yeah, that is definitely a finally finished object. I love it, love it, love it. The other thing I worked on, for those that might not have seen my stitch with me, I did put together one of my pin cushions. So this is one of the 9 squares stitched together by either my grandmother or her neighbor. I did have some batting here, so I quilted the top with some batting, and the quilting is just done with some Danish flower thread. I have all kinds of different colors of Danish flower thread. It's a cotton thread, kind of more matte and rustic than your DMC mercerized cotton. I'll insert a picture here of all the colors that I have. So I just used that to do the quilting and then put the backing on. I sewed the backing on completely and then did the split in the middle to stuff it. And it's kind of a big split, but I plan on probably, I'm gonna stitch it together first and then you get a piece of wool that I have and stitch that over top of it as well. I am going to put on my stitch with me, I asked for suggestions. I showed different buttons because I would like to put a button on, and I think the majority of you like this one the best. So I am going to do that and kind of make it a tufted look. I ordered some walnut shells, some ground walnut shells though, from Amazon, and they should get here I think Thursday. So I'm not going to finish this until they get here, and I'll take out some of the stuffing and put the walnut shells in. So it has, I want it to have some weight. I like the idea of my pin cushions having some weight. So I will be doing more of those in the future. That came together so quickly, and I really like the idea of using my little pieces here for pin cushions. Somebody suggested sewing them together to make like a table runner. I might do that. I might make it more like a table mat. It might be cute down in the foyer, or even to like frame, you know, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to get too wild and crazy with my sewing machine, but I can do straight lines, so I think we're good with that. So those are basically my finished and almost finished objects for this week. Yay! Where's my bell to ring? Ding, 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 ding. I'm excited. All right, so stitching whips. I talked about this. Let me get something to hold behind it. My stained glass star. I don't work on this every day, but maybe every other day. So I got a little bit more of the outlining done, and then I had mentioned I was going to start doing the satin stitch that goes in between all of the lines, just to get a feel for what that's going to look like. So you can see I just did a little bit here. I love it. This is done with a thread called Marlet. It's 100% viscose. It's very shiny, very slippery. And it does have kind of a more obvious twist. I don't know whether you can tell that with this, but so she has you doing satin stitch, but it's not as smooth as a lot of satin stitch is, because the twist does make, because it is kind of a more obvious twist, it does make the hills and valleys, you can see the shadows more. And so it doesn't necessarily look as smooth, but it does have a really nice puffy look, which I think is awesome. So I'm really, really liking this. Like I said, I don't work on it a lot, but every other day I'd make sure and pick it up. It's going to go with me into the new year, of course, but I will be continuing on that. So by the Bay, Donna released the next part of her of the Time for Season stitch along, and I did get a nice little chunk started on part 2 there. You can see the windows and part of the roof of the house, some water, trunk of the tree and some ground building up there. So let me show you what that is going to look like and try and not have all of my piles go sliding away. So this is part 2. It just butts right up against where we left off in part 1. So I'm just working right in here a little bit. That, maybe every other day, that's what I work on most. But it's still not getting as much attention as the fractal. So it'll get there. I will get it done before. I'm going to say I'm going to get it done before the end of the year, because January 1st is a big day. But the fractal. As of last night, I'm at 70%. So just about done with another diagonal. I have to tell you guys, I was talking to my older son, Samuel, yesterday, and he showed me where he hung the mushrooms. It is hanging on his wall, looks great, but a friend of his had given him a print that I think he said it's the artwork of 2 designers. One like did a base work and the second like did something else. I'm not really sure which is what, but it's 2 of his favorite artists, and a friend got him this print for Christmas, and it is very colorful, very psychedelic, very symbolic, you know, different things hidden within, but the colors, of course, it's all rainbow. So he said, this probably isn't your style. And I said, really, Samuel? And I pulled out this, and as I'm showing this to Samuel, we were FaceTiming, Mike noticed the back. He said, oh, you need to show him the back. I'm like, the back is a mess. But I realized you can see the design. Now, I didn't intentionally work it. I mean, it is a mess, right? And I didn't intentionally work it to begin threads and end threads, you know, in the same colors. And of course, there's so much confetti, that would be darn near impossible. And this is like so thick that it's not like you're seeing through to what's on the front, but you can see the design. And wouldn't you know it, that gosh darn son of mine said, oh, I think the back is cooler. Like, oh, Samuel, come here so I can slap you. But yeah, so this got approval from my 23-year-old hippie. This is pretty much my focal piece for the rest of the month. So close, so close. I will be having a new start on Christmas Day. That will be English Garden by Samplers Remembered. That is, I got the kit. I got it all kitted up when I was at Keepsakes, and I came home and I gave it to Mike and I said, put this away for my Christmas present. So yeah, I know what I'm getting. But that will be my Christmas Day start. And then, of course, January 1st, Farewell to Anger. It's so close. I can't wait. I can't wait. So remember, we have the Farewell to Anger SAL. The hashtag for that is hashtag Farewell to Anger SAL. And then we're also doing a stitch along for any of my designs, Jan Hicks Creates, SAL. And then, boy, I'm tempted. I know. I said there may be another stitch along starting too. Owl Forest Embroidery put out a new design. Oh wait, my marlet is going flying. They put out a new design this week, and I have never bought any of their patterns, but this one, this is called Bayou Cat. Isn't he gorgeous? So I tagged Carolyn, my partner in crime, on Instagram, and I said, another stitch along for the new year? And she said, oh, maybe, because it's a cat after all. Isn't he gorgeous? I have yet to buy any of Al Forrest Embroidery's kits, but this one I probably will. Now this is currently out of stock on their website, so I won't be getting it anytime soon. In fact, I probably won't get it till after the new year. But if anybody's interested in joining me and Carolyn on this SAL, be sure and check that out. Bayou Cat. I will have a link below. Let's see. Okay, so I think that's all of the current stuff. I have gifts, I have haul, and another stitch along to tell you about. Just making sure. So in February, I am going to be joining in with several other Flosstube creators. I don't like to say the word Flosstuber. It just sounds gross. Helicopter. Who have been invited to join, I'm not sure who, Kimberly Jolly, Fat Quarter Shop, in a stitch along called Bloomtopia. Now, that is, they have been doing, and this is a charity fundraiser stitch along. Let me find this information, and all of this will be linked below. For the past 7 years, actually for the past 6 years, the Fat Quarter Shop has been hosting the Bloomtopia quilt stitch along. And it's a fundraiser for the South and Central Make-A-Wish Foundation. So the idea is that you donate $5 for every pattern. They have, you know, it's a different pattern will come out on the 1st and 15th of every month from February to July. They are, this is the first year that they will be doing cross stitch as well. So they have created a cross stitch pattern, and they invited me to help host this stitch along. So I've been getting together my supplies. Now they do have something different on their supply list than what I am using, of course. Their supplies call for a gray fabric, I believe, and DMC or the Aurifil cotton. I, of course, am changing it. This is a light green Witchelt fabric. This is 32 count Water Lily by Witchelt. And I chose a bunch of Weeks Dye Works colors in the similar colors to what the pattern calls for the DMC. Now, we don't need all of these pinks. I'm also using, I think, more pink. They had more oranges and yellows, and you know that's not me, so I'm changing the shade slightly to make it slightly more pink. I don't need all of these pinks. I just bought a couple different ones so I could see them in real life to get a feel for what I want to use. But this is the basic idea. Bloomtopia, like I said, it is a fundraiser for the Make-A-Wish Foundation of South and Central Texas, which, you know, when I agreed to this, I didn't know I was moving to Texas yet. So this is kind of cool that now I am going to be living in that area, and I'm going to be part of this fundraiser stitch along. So like I said, Bloomtopia, I will be linking it below. I'm going to link below the link to the fundraiser page, the Make-A-Wish page, because there's all the details on that of how it's going to be set up, and to the page on Fat Quarter Shop where you can, excuse me, where you can get your supplies. Now the link I will be taking you to on Fat Quarter Shop is the link to the quilting page. But if you look down below the main picture, there's several tabs. One of them says related project or related products. If you click on that, it will open up a window that has all the cross stitch options. Now right now it's only showing the thread packs, They have a project bag, which I don't have here. They sent me that. They have a needle minder, which I haven't gotten yet, but I am going to. They have a DMC thread pack and an Aurifil cotton thread pack, and then a link to the fabrics. So you can get everything you need there if you want to. So yeah, I invite you to join me. That starts February 1st, so it's time to start thinking about that. And I just realized I forgot to show you one of my whips. Hold please. And that is my shawl. I am plugging away on this. Just one of the many crafty endeavors that happen here besides cross stitch, right? Knitting. So I got the first section of the border done. There's a kind of a detail row with more increases here, and then back I'll be doing another section of this lighter color. So can you see these little ridges here? Those are called garter ridges. There's 7 on this side. I have to make 7 on this side. I've done 1. This is the 1 row out, 1 row back. That is 1 garter ridge of knit across, knit back. So I have to do that 6 more times. That's about it's about 45 minutes of my time to knit back and forth on these long rows. So basically today I will get this done in 5 more days. Again, I'm almost working on this every day. I might miss a day here or there. So I hope and then I have the bind off. So I hope by this time next week, I will be binding off on this sucker. And I expect that it's going to take 2 to 3 days to do the bind off. By the time I'm done with the other garter ridge rows that I still have to do, there will be 647 stitches on my needle. This is definitely the longest, the most stitches I've ever had to deal with. I've dealt with 4 or 5 before. I don't think I've ever dealt with close to 700, but it's fun and I love it. And there goes another one. I love this. I cannot wait to get it done. It's going to be done by the end of the year. I'm going to do a video showing how I'm going to block this. For those of you that are knitters, you know how to block. For those of you that aren't knitters, you may find this interesting. For those of you that are knitters, you may find it interesting and find some tips. I figure I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to videotape it and put it out there, and hopefully it'll help someone. All right, so other than that, let's see, I have, oh my goodness, those helicopters are flying. Those are the Black Hawks, I think. They may be the Apaches. For those of you who don't know, Wheeler is basically right across the highway from us. We are down in a valley. Well, actually it's here, but we're down in a valley. It's actually not across the highway. It's like up out of the valley. Wheeler is right there. And it's a Wheeler, it's an Army airfield base, and they fly Chinooks, Apaches, Blackhawks. They fly all the big helicopters out of there, and you know, they're doing training all day long. So besides the tourist helicopters that always fly, we get the military helicopters flying overhead, and they're very cool to watch. I actually can't wait to see. We'll probably be living somewhere around Lackland in San Antonio. Lackland, my understanding is more of a training. They don't fly the jets. They may have some helicopters, but Mike and I, again, because we like military history, we kind of like to see the stuff flying. When I'm visiting my in-laws in Surprise, they live close to Luke, and the jets fly out of Luke, and holy cow, do you know when those things are up. And they're not even like really close to Luke, but when those things go up, there's no mistaking it. All right, so now we have all of the stuff we got, haul and gifts and all kinds of fun stuff. So I'm going to start with the haul just because it's on top. So this is partly from Fat Quarter Shop. When I was ordering what I needed for Bloomtopia, I decided to go ahead and have some patterns join in. And there's also an order from 123 Stitch here. So, and the 123 Stitch order I just got, I must have had fur on my water bottle. Oh, imagine that. So I went to 123 Stitch to get fabric for, you know, the little sparkler with the dinky dies and all the beads from Northern Expression Arts and Shannon Christie. And I was gonna do it on the chalkboard fabric from XG Designs, and then realized that's 40 count. That's not gonna work. I need a 28 count so that the beads will fit. Do you remember all that from the last video? I decided I wanted to get a navy blue. So I went to Fat Quarter Shop and just got the 28 count navy blue Lugana, and it's just a little piece. I don't need a big piece for that. But while I was there, I also got 28 count, which one is this? Ice blue Lugana. And this is mostly just to see if I like this fabric for Serenity. You'll remember that Serenity is the pattern, the design by Northern Expressions, that they, after seeing Mrs. Sadus's after seeing my shades of gold in Darling, Nicole decided she needed to get some of that silk and play with it. And Serenity is the pattern that she came up with using Mrs. Sadus silk and beads. And I think hers is on it might be on a gray, but I thought I'd get this icy blue linen or icy blue Lugana and see what the beads and the floss look like on that. So I don't have any more of the Darling to use, but I do have a hank of Peacock that I think I'll use instead if the beads go with it. They should. Peacock is kind of along the same lines as Darling, except it doesn't have as much of the lighter blues to greens tones in it. So I think it'll work. But anyways, while I was at 123 Stitch, I had to stick a couple patterns in, and I don't remember which of these are from 123 Stitch and which ones are from Fat Quarter Shop. So I don't remember. I'll just go through them. I have a Christmas itch that needed to be scratched. So this is Anna Lee Waite Designs, and she has several. She's new to me. She has several like this that are kind of different seasonal ones, and I've got the Christmas one to start with, but I will be getting her other ones because I love the look of this. Again, the kind of boxy, bandy. I just think this is gorgeous. Sorry for the glare. So this is Holiday Thoughts by Anna Lee Waite. Love that. Where can I put this so it doesn't go sliding? Abbey Rose. There were several of Abbey Rose's. Let me get them together. So she has a series. They're like autumn time, Christmas time, springtime. So again, scratching my Christmas itch. I don't know when I'm going to stitch these. I got the Christmas one, and I also got summertime. And I will be getting springtime and autumn as well. So again, those are Abbey Rose, which I love. Plum Street, I finally got the winter salt boxes. So I have all the salt boxes. I have to figure out at some point, I want them all together. I don't know how yet, but I want them all together. I have loved this one since I first saw it. This is Hands On Design, Wintertime, with the THYME. I hope she does more of these little seasonal ones like this. It does come with the rickrack and the little jingle bells. They're so cute. And that's what you're finishing it off with up there. I love this. I just want to start stitching all of these. Do you have that problem? You do? Isn't that funny? How do we cure ourselves of, oh wait, we don't want to cure, do we? And then I got Simplicity. Now I have, I think, 2 others of this series, the Cottage Garden series by Cottage, or the Songbirds Garden series by Cottage Garden Needleworks. I want to get all of them and stitch all of them. Oh, duh. These will be stitched over one. Maria, my friend Maria Kutzner, she was in San Antonio this past weekend to run a half marathon, and she stopped at Stitches from the Heart and took some pictures and sent them to me. And they do have on their walls there samples, models of all of these, all framed the same. They are just such gorgeous designs, but I do want to do them over one. So they'll be small and sweet, and oh God, I love over one. Fat Quarter Shop has new card charts out. Again, they sent me 2, one for me to one to give away. A lot of these don't really trip my trigger, but I do really like these. Again, winter, Christmas, you know, for whatever reason. Again, these I would stitch over one. So at some point, that will be included in a giveaway. And then speaking of Maria, so I mentioned to you last week that she sent me a picture. She had been straightening the fabric at the Stitch Niche. She works there one day a week, and she came across this fabric called Caribbean Blue. I believe this is, well, I don't know who the dyer is. It is not a Zweigert fabric. I think it's probably one of the Perman Witchelt ones, but it's probably by an indie dyer. It is not, does not say on here. This is a 28 count. Caribbean Blue. She showed me this and I said, just send it to me. Look at that. Oh, I wonder how this would look for Serenity, if it would be big enough. Hold that thought. Let me dig out Peacock. So this is my skein of Peacock silk floss from Mrs. Sadus. Isn't that gorgeous? Do you hear angels singing? Do you hear it? Oh my God. Look at that. Is that too close, do you think? I mean, not close. Obviously, one's very light and one's very dark. But is that too much turquoisey aqua? Is there such a thing as too much turquoisey aqua? Oh my God. I'm trying not to drool on the video. I'm gonna have to get out the beads and see how they all look together. Oh, you do hear the angels singing. Anyway, continuing. Maria also sent me some gifts. I ordered at the same time because the fabric couldn't travel alone. I ordered a couple charts and then Maria sent me some other goodies. So first and foremost, this gorgeous card. Wouldn't that be stunning as a cross-stitch piece? I love that. I don't know who the artist is, but I love that. She sent me some thread tux bags. She tried them, found that they weren't for her, so she sent me those on. And then the Garden Club series. So like I said, I asked for her to include a couple in my order with the fabric, and then she gifted me a couple. I already have a couple of these, so my collection is almost complete. Not quite. So that is those Garden Club series 12, 7, 6, 2, and 1. And like I said, I already have a couple. Once I get those done, I'm going to finish my collection of loose feathers. Now, Maria also sent me some other charts. She said somebody gave these to her and they're not really her style. So she sent them on to me to do as giveaways for you guys. And most of these will be giveaways, although there are a couple I'm going to keep. So first, Fresh as a Daisy by Cricket Collection. This is an older one of theirs. I don't know what year because I don't have my glasses on and I can't see. But that will be a giveaway. Heart and Hand Love Letters. This will be a giveaway. Hospitality Marker by Bent Creek. I kind of like that one with the pineapple, but I'm not too sure about it yet. I don't like the words, "We welcome you kindly." I don't know why. I guess because it sounds old-fashioned. I could just put the pineapple in the center there. I'm not sure about that one. That one may stay with me. Elizabeth's Garden. Be kind, be true. This one I'll be keeping. The Sunflower Seed Got Buttons. That will be a giveaway. And then these ones I'm keeping, and it's going to put me on a mission to find the fourth one. Another seasonal set. This is by Sisters and Best Friends. Summer Sampler. Fall Sampler. I love that huge acorn. So cool. And look how it's, okay, so this is so me. This one is done. Let me get my glasses on. Where are my glasses? Let me find. Okay, so one of these is 7 count, one of these is 9 count, and then the other one is 25 count. So you can see the difference in size. 7 count, 9 count, and then 25 count over 1. Guess which one I'll be doing. I guess she's done that for all of these. Didn't really pay attention. And then this is the winter one. Look at the sheep. Look at him, how puffy he is. So again, 7, 9, and 25. So fall, winter, and summer is what I have. I need spring. So if anybody out there has spring and you'd be willing to send it my way, I would certainly appreciate that. Okay, I think that's all. Oh, no, I went to a fabric store. I'm not getting into quilting, but I had to get these because I would love to have love to have project bags made out of them. Now this is where I need your help. Can a project be made out of a fat quarter? Because I got a bunch. So they had some Tulip Pink fat quarters, so I got a couple of those. And then they had a bunch of different batiks. These are all fat quarters. And then a couple of solids. So I'm already like mixing and matching, like that would be a set for a project bag. This could be a set for a project bag. This could be a set, or I could do this with either of these, the solid and the, but they had this out. The bolt was laying on the counter when I was checking out, and I said, oh, I need that too. Look at that. Love is the answer, pursuit of happiness, powerful, focused, dreamed, be you, perfectly imperfect, unstoppable, you are loved. Good things come to those who work together. Be the change. Do all things with love. Dream. How perfect is that? I got a full yard of that. And again, I could use any of these to go with it for a project bag. What can I do with a full yard that would be cool though? Maybe several project bags. Maybe a project bag for me and a project bag for you. So my idea is I'm going to send this, Laura Duet of Brenda and the Cereal Starter has mentioned several times on her videos that she sends fabric to Belinda of Blue Ribbon Designs to be made into project bags. And I looked at Belinda's stuff and she does amazing finishing work as well as project bags. And I want ones that are full fabric. I don't want ones with the vinyl front. So I'm gonna be sending these to her, probably not till after the new year, because I'm sure she is totally swamped at this point with Christmas. And get these made into project bags. And I also want to get some more really obvious Hawaiian fabric. These ones aren't necessarily Hawaiian. They just spoke to me. So that will be in the new year. But you know, let me know what else I could do with the yard of this fabric that would be kind of cool. Because not being a sewer, I just, you know, I don't have a clue basically besides project bags. All right. I think that is everything. It's time for the angel. And I always forget to pull that out, so hold on. Let's see what today's angel says. This is today's angel. I love her angels. And it says, when things don't seem to be working in your favor, trust in God, for He has better plans for you. Amen to that. So guys, I hope you have a fantastic week. I will be seeing you back again here on Friday for my Stitch With Me video. Until then, know that I love you, know that you are being thought about, and that you are so appreciated. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.